Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? We are back live for we're at 5 now of Not That Late Night. Um, yeah, how's everybody doing? Give people a chance to join in here. What's up, Eric? What's up, Chris? How you doing? Eric, right off the bat, asking about dolls and bears. What's up? Hey, Sarah, how's it going? Good to see you. Nash, what's up, man? Hey, Christine, how's it going? Eric is very adamant that he wants to know if bears are dogs. They're basically the same thing when they get to be a certain size. I think we've established that. Um, you look like you've enjoyed some brownies. You bet I've enjoyed some brownies. Did you have some when you were here, Shlucky? Yeah, for those of you that don't know what Chris and I are talking about, Mama Napper baked some very delicious brownies for me and some friends the other day. What's up, Nash? How you doing? Um, yeah, let's do. Hi, Mom. We were just talking about you and your brownies. Am I going to shave before Vegas? Maybe. We'll see. Eric, I thought we were doing handlebar mustaches. What's up with that? Eleanor, what's up, man? Hey, Ryan, how's it going, man? Tori, hey, how's it going? Good to see you all. Thanks for joining. Hey, what's up, Dan? Long time, buddy. How you doing? Mom, the brownies were delicious. Thank you. They're just about all done now. Lazy eye. There's probably some weird light thing in here. The light is all to one side of me, so maybe that's why. Um, yeah, so how was that, Macy? How's it going? Eric thinks he looked too creepy with the handlebar mustache. I don't know, man. You drew a pretty epic one. I need to bring it back. Anyway, so yeah, we are at episode 5 now. Got a bunch of questions and discussion topics that people have submitted to me that I'll be diving into. Let's see. Schlecky says only 2 straws. Yeah, Schlecky, only 2 today. I usually only have 2. Once in a while, I'll pull in a third, but usually just 2. I'm actually having to go really hard on my water right now because tomorrow is Spinraza Day. So I get stabbed in the spine tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. But to avoid like getting these killer headaches afterwards, I need to get super hydrated. So for the rest of the night, I will be pounding water, and then I will wake up tomorrow and pound water until they put the needle in. So yay for hydration. And yeah, Eric, yay for Hulk juice. Yeah, get my Hulk juice shot up into my spine tomorrow morning, which is exciting, um, but not so exciting the whole being stabbed in the spine part of it. But yeah, so that's cool. What else is going on? Tori says Mountain Dew is not hydration. Okay, Tori, check this out. The blue straw is the Mountain Dew straw. The straw is aiming at me, I've been drinking from, is the water straw. I've barely actually touched my Mountain Dew so far. I'm just pounding water, trying to avoid those headaches. But yeah, Drake says, "What's up, Drake? How you doing, man? Long time no see." And yes, I fondly remember the pop chugging at MDA camp back in the day. Macy, I see you here. How you doing? Um, yeah, what's up with everybody? What's everybody been up to? Me, I have been doing a bunch of stuff. So I got Spinraza tomorrow. I've been I just started my Can't Promise application, which I'm excited about. Um, I know Emmy hit me up asking me about that, so figures time I get started. Um, we've been getting our Vegas plans all worked out. We leave in so less than a month now, yeah. We leave on the 20th, so we're working all the details out of what all we're doing in Vegas. I put a call in today for potentially doing the powered paragliding in Vegas. And then we're looking into doing, um, I forget what it's called. Eric, maybe you can help me out, but it's like a track where you can drive supercars around, um, which is really awesome. So we'll see if what all ends up working out, but that's what we're looking into doing when we're in Vegas. Should be fun. Shletty's asking about pre-Vegas tanning. No, I've not done the tanning thing in a long time. I miss it though. A nice warm nap and a bed that looks like a spaceship. If it was free and didn't give people cancer, I'd be all about it. Uh, Greg, David, I'm outnumbered with girl to guy ratio at my house. That's right, Greg. I know you got some youngins now. Happy for you, bro. Yeah, Eric says it's 3 weeks to Vegas. We are excited. Should be fun. Hopefully the airline does not destroy my wheelchair on the way. Fingers crossed, as always. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna dive right into some of the things people ask me about here. You die of other stuff before cancer. Yeah, that's probably true. Um, that's Greg asked where I'm staying in Vegas. Eric confirmed, but I'm pretty sure we're at the MGM, if I remember right. My friend Eric made the reservations, so but I'm pretty sure he said it was the MGM. Um, yes, Mom, I am serious about paragliding. I told them today, but I left a message, so I haven't spoken to them directly yet. Aloha, Bobby. How are you? I'm very jealous that you're off in Hawaii, enjoying the tropics. Yeah, Eric confirmed we are staying at the MGM. So that should be cool. It's where we stayed last year when we went. It was a good time. But yeah, so anyway, one of the questions that got submitted to me was from Dave about rugby in Seattle. Um, so for those of you who don't know, rugby is awesome, and I admittedly didn't know that Seattle recently just got a Major League Rugby team. They are called the Seattle Seawolves, although technically they play in Tukwila, but Seattle area. And apparently they're really good. They the first season was last year, 2018, and apparently they won the championship over the Glendale Raptors. Um, so I didn't know that that was even a thing here yet. I know rugby's obviously popular in like England and all those British Empire countries. Um, it's big in my family comes from New Zealand. Well, part of my family comes from New Zealand, where it's the national sport. So it's really exciting for me. I'm definitely gonna try to check them out sometime. Um, but yeah, I know like I am a football fan, but we all know the NFL is super shady from covering up cases of CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. pronounce that right. Um, with like brain concussion, repeated blows, uh, from all that shadiness and now colluding to um, keep Kaepernick out of the NFL for his protesting, um, and a whole lot of money-related issues with the NFL. It's a big mess. I still love the Seahawks, but the NFL is very shady. So I think rugby can be a really cool like potential alternative. Um, let's see here. Schlex is asking about wheelchair rugby, aka murder ball, which, if you don't know, wheelchair rugby is possibly the most amazing thing you'll ever see. Definitely check it out. There's a movie about it. I'm not sure where, but it's called Murder Ball. It's really cool. Um, let's see. The guy that stars, I can't remember his name, but he's super awesome. Um, there is a wheelchair rugby team here in Seattle that my wheelchair soccer team would like practice in the same area. And a couple times we'd like kind of scrimmage against them just for fun, playing wheelchair soccer. And they're all really cool. It was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, it was cool. Greg is asking about the XFL. They got a team too. That's true. Yeah, the XFL is attempting another shot at trying to fill the gap for people that don't like the NFL but like football, which is cool. Um, I don't know how well they'll be at like securing the talent to really bring in an audience away from the NFL. But we'll see. I think it's a cool idea. See what happens. Vincent Mann is kind of a crazy guy, but hey, good on him to try to do something big like that, I guess. It's true. Let's see. Tori says, everyone listen to the Gladiator podcast about Aaron Hernandez. I'm going to check that out, Tori. That could be cool. Let's see. Some people join. What's up, Tim? Hey, Dave. Dave is here. If you guys don't know Gabe Cohen from Como News, he did a story about me and my business, Snappy Clothing, on Como a couple years ago. And really nice guy. I'm glad you joined in, Gabe. Um, let's see. Oh, what are people saying here? Oh, Sarah shared a link to the Murder Ball movie. Definitely check that out. It's super cool. Um, Lucky says Seattle XFL with Colin Kaepernick. I don't think he's gonna join the XFL. That'd be kind of cool if he did. Um, but we'll see. So what else is there? Camera over rugby. Let's see. Next up, Dave also asked me about winter-tivities, um, specifically winter activities on wheels. For most of us, myself included, winter-tivities consist of sitting inside with preferably a cup of hot cocoa, preferably by a fire, and attempting to enter a meditative coma um, until the sun comes back. Not a big winter people, most of us with disabilities, I would venture to say. Um, but there are some really cool winter activities for us disabled people. There's some really cool adaptive skiing. I've seen where you have like a sit ski and kind of has these two little skis that kind of act like training wheels on a bike almost. And somebody like skis behind you, and they kind of have like rope type of things that to help you turn and whatnot. Um, so that's really cool. There are some like crazy off-roading wheelchairs that I bet could do some really cool things in the snow. Um, I don't have one. How people get them, I don't even really understand. It's hard enough just to get like a regular wheelchair approved by insurance, and these things cost like more than most cars. So I doubt many people are buying them just for recreational use. So I don't really even know how that's a business. But there are some really cool off-road wheelchairs um, that I bet could do some pretty cool things in the snow. Um, Not necessarily in the snow, but winter related. There are ice rinks that have like sled hockey for disabled people, and I've even just taken my chair out on the ice skating rink and just run around the loop, sliding around, just having a good time with some friends. Um, yeah, so those are some winter activities, but really I just hate the winter. I just want summer back. I want it to be summer year round. Um, but until that's granted, I will settle for a fire and a warm drink. Um, let's see what else. Check the comments here. I got a little behind here. Christine's tired of talking about sports. We're gonna move on, Christine. I promise. Um, Shazzy approves of electric blankets. I agree with him. Let's see. What else we got? Um, okay. Oh, Maria, hey, you're hanging out with Ryan. What's up, guys? I'm glad you guys are tuned in. Um, but yeah, okay, cool. So, we'll move on from sports. Thank you, Christine. Um, and the next thing I was asked about are why are eyes sexy? I'm going to kind of refer to you guys. Why do you guys think eyes are sexy? Um, I guess there's a certain like aesthetic appeal to eyes, being like the contrast and the white of the eye and the black of the pupil with like that splash of color in between. Um, Also, I know eyes are like super expressive, so you can really read a person by their eyes. Um, I also like the aspect of that like attention. Um, if someone's looking at you, like they're devoting their attention to you, and to look deep into someone's eyes, I guess means they're getting all of your attention. Um, I don't know. Eyes are eyes, I guess. The whole windows to the soul thing, like Schlecky says. I don't know. um, yeah, I know people always compliment me about having really long eyelashes, which I hate them. I hate having long eyelashes. When they get wet, they get like stuck together and they fall in my eyes. I can't reach them to get them out. They're really a pain in the butt, I think. But I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Why do you guys think eyes are sexy? Why? What eye preferences do you have? Do you like bright blue eyes, like dark brown eyes, whatever? Hey, I see Bo is here. That's Sarah's brother. What's up, Bo? And Sarah. Good to see you both. Um, oh, Michaela says opening day is 30 days away. Awesome. Michaela, Dex, and I are going to the Mariners opening day. So, definitely excited for that. Thank Dex for me for getting those tickets. Very excited. Let's see. Sarah likes gray eyes. Gray eyes, okay, I can see that. Um, let's see what else we got. Bobby says eyes tell the truth about the person. I believe that's true, as the eyes are really expressive. Um, yeah, if someone's like happy or whatever, there seems to be like a sparkle in their eye. When someone's sad, there seems to be like a dullness in their eyes. Um, you see, Kyle says eyes with multiple colors in them. I agree. I've seen some like really cool like blue green like mixes of eye color, and those are very pretty in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know what I don't know what it is about those eyes, but they are definitely attention grabbing. All right, so to get to probably the most serious question I was given, this one comes from my sister Christine. Where do baby mermaids come from? Which I don't know where she comes up with that, but why not address it? L likes blue eyes. I think you're in probably a pretty big majority there, L. Bo likes blue eyes too. Everybody loves blue eyes. I agree, they're very pretty. Except they're actually like less effective. People with blue eyes tend to have more sight vision problems. And they're more like susceptible to the sun. I don't know. But anyway, back to mermaids. Never thought I would say that on the show, but okay. So mermaids. Where do baby mermaids come from? Um, Christine, since your question, I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. Bo thinks they come from seahorses. Did you see that? They seem similar in genetics. Um, I what's up, Caitlin just joined. Hey. Okay, sorry, Christine, I keep getting distracted by comments. But yeah, so baby mermaids, where do they come from? I want you guys to put your theories in the comments. Personally, I have two theories. Um, one, I think it has some potential scientifically. We need to get some research on it, but I think there's potential here. The other theory is kind of disturbing to think about, but we'll go there anyway. So the first one, they say with like evolution that basically we all kind of came from sea creatures that eventually crawled out of the sea, out of the water, on the land. So my theory, if these sea creatures that over billions of years evolve into being human beings, maybe some of them decide to stay underwater, but still evolve towards being a human being. And that's how we got mermaids. I don't know how we go from being fish to monkeys to humans, but um, maybe that's how mermaids came to be. They just didn't crawl out of the water. Let's see. We got a few theories have been submitted here. Um, let's see. We have um, Bobby is very on point with this. Mermen plus mermaids equal merbabies. Can't argue that. Um, see, Kyle thinks drunken sailors and manatees. That's pretty close to my next theory, but we'll get there. Um, Christine has a hard time imagining they hatch from eggs like fishies. It doesn't feel right. I agree with that. I think that's a little bit strange. But also my second theory on where baby mermaids come from. Um, if you look at a dolphin, they have like a permanent smile, right? So I'm imagining drunken sailors that perhaps are shipwrecked or whatever, and they're hallucinating from being stuck at sea, um, out in the sun. Maybe they misinterpret that smile as a romantic connection, and before you know it, 9 months later, out pops a mermaid. It's kind of disturbing to think about, but maybe that's how mermaids are born. I don't know. I don't think we need to go into any more detail than that. That's probably more detail than any of us really wanted to think about. So, but we should move along. But thank you for piquing our curiosity, Christine. Um, but yeah, so baby mermaids, where do they come from? You tell me. Yeah. So, Christine, we know that. Christine says they come from mama mermaids and daddy mermaids. Um, yeah, but where did they come from before all that? I don't know. Pray about it, maybe. I don't know. See what you come up with. Okay, so now that we've gotten all the craziness out of the way, I guess. Uh, Christine says not sailors and dolphins. Well, I'd like to think that's not the right answer too. But yeah. Alright, so um, one of the more serious questions I was asked about, um, Schlecky wanted me to get real with internalized ableism. And kind of alongside with that, Sarah wanted me to talk about stigmas associated with being disabled and dating. I think the two of these kind of go hand in hand. So we'll kind of address them both. So for those of you that don't know what ableism is, um, much like um, we have a lot of isms in our society. We have racism, sexism, all the isms and phobias or whatever. Um, ableism is basically beliefs or practices that devalue and discriminate against people with disabilities. It kind of views disabled people as being inferior to able-bodied people and often places them as objects of pity or even more so that they need to be fixed. I feel like a lot of this is due to the representation given to us by Hollywood and the media in general. Um, the most like damaging example of this I can think of is the movie Me Before You. I don't know if any of you have heard of that movie or seen it. I had heard about it and how awful it was towards the disabled community. And out of morbid curiosity, I admit to watching it, and I deeply regret it because it's a terrible movie. Um, this movie basically focuses around this main character. Yeah, Christine booed it. I agree. Um, the main character is this rather handsome, rich, privileged dude who gets disabled, I believe. It's been a while since I've seen it. But I'm pretty sure he's like paralyzed or something in the movie. And he's really depressed about his new disability and all this. But he ends up falling in love with this beautiful girl. And, but then basically, like, I guess to save the girl from a life with him, uh, he ends up choosing like assisted suicide. It's terrible. For one, this guy had like everything. He had tons of money to be able to, you know, pay for living with a disability, which is often expensive. He had the love of a beautiful girl. He had a very fulfilling life. And for him to throw that away because apparently life with a disability and living with somebody with a disability was just worse than death, apparently. It's this terrible, terrible movie. And it reinforces all these terrible stereotypes about what it means to be disabled. And yeah, it's awful. And if I remember hearing something about how that movie and the story or whatever was written by somebody who not only wasn't disabled, but doesn't really have much experience interacting with disabled people, which I believe is a little bit more to the root of the problem with ableism, um, is a lot that we're not represented and that we're also like not even invited to the table for these type of like discussions. Um, when you think about like, I believe it's 20% of people are considered to have a disability, and yet only like 2%, I believe, actors are disabled. And most stories of disability are being told by people that aren't disabled and being acted or represented by people that aren't disabled. So they're all times doing a caricature of what disability is. And yeah, if we're not at that table to, discuss these stories of our lives, they get misrepresented and we get stereotyped. Uh, Chris points out Bryan Cranston. I agree that it's not, I mean, he's a good actor, I like him, but that role isn't for him. That's for somebody that actually has a disability like that. Um, but yeah, another example I would say is the straw ban um, that recently has been sweeping the country. Um, but here specifically in Seattle, the straw ban was implemented without any consultation from the disabled community. Um, the city officials that implemented it looked at it like able-bodied people will not be drastically affected by getting rid of a straw. So that's an easy fix. But the disabled community is severely impacted by that. And by not even being involved in the discussion to ban it, our opinion wasn't heard, our voices weren't heard. And then, even worse than that, when CBS was doing a story about that, um, they were contacted and referred to me to kind of speak on behalf of the disabled community regarding the straw ban. And I wasn't surprised that they ended up cutting my segment because what I was saying was very much like against the narratives they were trying to push was that, you know, Seattle and other places are doing the same thing, are making this great stride for the environment. And here I was saying, actually, you're barely doing anything to impact the environment hardly at all. And it's hurting a lot of people. And so my part got cut. Um, but yeah, let me catch up on some comments here. I'll get back into this. Um, Elena asks, have I seen the year or Upslide? I have not seen Upslide. Is that the Bryan Cranston movie you were talking about? Um, I've not seen it. It is Upside. Yeah, I think Upside is the Bryan Cranston movie. I Yeah, Chris says, yeah, okay, it is that movie. Yeah, the story looks good, and I think it's actually based on this French movie that I saw a while ago. Um, which it was a good movie, but yeah, like Chris says in the comments there, the casting is where things kind of fell off for me. Um, but anyway, I also want to point out that a lot of ableism is is done with the best of intentions, which sounds really weird to say. Um, but people say things and do things thinking they're being complimentary when what they're doing is actually more of like a backhanded compliment. Um, for example, like people will they use that word inspiration a lot. Um, for example, see, when I was a kid or like teenager maybe, I was at a Wendy's once with some friends, just having some food, hanging out, and this lady came up to me, and I think she probably taught me inspiration or something like that. And I think she even like asked to pray about me and all this just craziness. And it was super embarrassing and really unwelcome at the time. Um, Being called inspiration just for being outside of your house is not a compliment because what you're saying is like you assume I should be shut up in a hospital or something somewhere. The fact that I'm out of my house just doing normal things, you're implying that that's inspiring? Like, that's really insulting to me. Um, yeah, so I realize people say that thinking they're complimenting the person and being nice, but I think people need to think about what they say and how that's perceived more. Um, yeah, I know. But you get a lot of comments when you're disabled about like how, or if they were in your shoes, they couldn't do it, or oh, they'd just die if they had to, live life in a wheelchair. Which like they're trying to prop you up as if you're doing something great, and they think that's complimentary. But again, what that implies is that they would rather die than have your life. Which like that's so cold-blooded, and it's just not true. And it's these ableisms that, like, say, society and the media pushes that makes people think the life with a disability is like worse than death. And it's just not true. There's tons of disabled people that live very successful, happy lives, meaningful lives. They have meaningful relationships. They get married. They have kids. They um, have very important jobs. Um, yeah, it's really sad that the media portrays us in this like one dimension of being these tragedies that deserve our pity, and we're we're there to inspire them for suffering through our disabilities and all that. And it's not true. There's so much more to every person, including disabled people, that um so much more to us than just that. Yeah, disability can be a struggle. There's lots of hurdles we have to go through and things like that. But I don't know, like you never see people in Hollywood movies playing roles that are disabled where their role really isn't about their disability. You know what I mean? Like, they're not the snarky lawyer. They're not the romantic lead. They're not all of this. I don't know. It's just awful. Um, I'm falling behind on some comments again. Let me stroll through some of these. Um, let's see. Christine commented on the French film. It was based on The Untouchables. Yeah, that was it. I really like the French film, The Untouchables. Um, I don't know if that guy was actually disabled. I'm not sure. But I did think it was a good movie. Um, which I would guess Ep5 probably is a good movie. I just wish that they had casted a disabled person to play that role. Um, let's see what else. Oh, Zeke is here. What's up, Zeke? Um, glad you joined in, bro. Let's see what else. Schletti asks, who are my disabled role models? Do I have any? That's a great question, Schletti. I absolutely have some. Um, off the bat, Stephen Hawking jumps out, being that he's like the smartest man to possibly ever exist on Earth. Um, and he was disabled. Um, and even though I don't condone like him cheating on his wife and then getting remarried and all that, I think that actually does a good job of showing that disabled people have romantic needs and desires where a lot of people don't even view disabled people as objects that could be optioned romantically. They view us as being like asexual, you know what I mean? Which is obviously not true. Um, but yeah, the other role models, I forget her last name, but her first name was Stella, and she gave a TED talk about ableism, which was really great. Also, she's maybe a role model, and really a lot of my disabled friends that I know, I really look up to. Shaletti, I put you in that category. Christine, I definitely put you in that category. A lot of you just, man, you guys work really hard and you contribute a lot to the people around you. Um, I know Christine with her hundreds of students. She's made incredible impact on all of them. And then through her writing, um, is impacting who knows how many people. Shletty, yeah, pats on the back, bro. Um, but yeah, Shletty's killing the game at Microsoft, and he's so much smarter than I could ever be. And yeah, you guys have worked really hard to get where you're at, and yeah, I admire all that. And you're just like good people, people that care about your friends and family, and um, yeah, I really value that. Um, let's see here. Christine added her name was Stella Young. She was the person I was referring to that gave the TED talk on ableism. If you want to know more about ableism, look that up. Stella Young gave a TED talk. She recently, well, I don't say recently, I'm not sure how long ago it was, but she passed away, I believe, which is super sad, but she made a big impact on the disabled community and hopefully the way that the able-bodied community views disabled people. She's awesome, so look her up. Um, let's see. Kevin asked, can we get an OKC sets? Yes, preach that all day, Kevin. Kevin's referring to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which we try not to speak about because we hate them, because they or what should be the sonics. Sonics, as we all know, were stolen from our, our home Seattle, and hopefully we will get a team back soon. I very much miss having an NBA basketball team here. Um, but yeah, Christine says, "Oh, TED Talks are the worst." Christine would know. She gave a awesome TED Talk in Portland at Portland's TEDx, and you might be surprised to know that her TED Talk had nothing to do with disability, um, even though has the same disability I have. Um, it was all about education and using, she calls it techrity, to use technology to help students in the classrooms um, that need basically assistance for different reasons, and how technology can help to fill that gap more or less to create an equal playing field for education, um, which is awesome. I really thought she did a great job, and especially considering she was given very little notice to prepare for her TED Talk, but you would never know it. She killed it. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, I guess it had a little to do with disability, but not. It wasn't like the primary focus. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Um, but yeah. Um. So anyway, um, so that's kind of what ableism is, and so she'd like to ask you more specifically about internal ableism, um, which I never actually heard that term until recently. But it's a great term, and it kind of helps to define a lot of things that those of us with disability deal with, I believe. Um, it's really kind of hard to grasp, but basically because of ableism being so like ingrained into society, um, and just culture, we're almost like brainwashed into believing these things ourselves. So, for example, um, being disabled, but kind of being ingrained to think of disabled people as less than, as inferior to a able-bodied person. Um, so I keep getting distracted with comments. Um, it's kind of an ongoing desire, I think, in myself and other disabled people to get acceptance from the able-bodied community. Um, be that with just having to kind of always put on the happy face and not be the like bitter, angry cripple or whatever. Um, I just kind of wanted to appease people, which to a point is fine. Like, being friendly is great, but to make them not happy. So I was reading the comment. I'm not sure what that says. Um, but yeah, so yeah, we being people with disabilities often try more than maybe we should to be accepted by the able-bodied community, and almost trying to distance ourselves from the disabled community, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Um, for example, let me think. Back when I was like a kid, um, when I was a kid, there was another girl at our school who was disabled in a power wheelchair. Um, Obviously, there weren't that many of us in power wheelchairs. She was, I don't think she was quite my grade, but pretty close. But she, in addition to her physical disability, I believe she had some sort of learning disability. So she was in like special ed classes, whereas I was in um, the normal classes more or less. Obviously, I was not super smart, but I maintained just your average classes. Um, And you get people making comments like, oh, like, trying to basically put us together as a couple or whatever. I barely knew this girl, I'd see her in the halls, but we never had class together. I don't think I ever said more than just a brief hello in the hallway to her. But because we were both disabled, people tried to pin us together. Um, one, that's weird. And but two, my kind of instinct to push back from that is also weird. Um, I don't know why I would resist like being compared with somebody else that's also disabled. But when I was young, a kid, I wanted that acceptance from the able-bodied people. I I wanted to be one of them, accepted with them. I wouldn't want to be, put into the same class as the disabled people, especially if they were what I considered to be more disabled than me, which that's not even really a thing. That's dumb. Um, but yeah, so I would resist that. It would bother me, and oh, that's just dumb. Um, but yeah, those are the things like you internalize when you grow up uh, around the ableist society and culture. Um, and that really comes into play when it comes to dating. Um, I know as a guy, you're raised with these stereotypes of what a man should be or a desirable man should be. This big, strong dude, the protector and provider that can literally sweep women off their feet and carry them over the threshold and all this stuff that I'm physically not capable of. So that makes dating to be really challenging. Um, However, it's not impossible. I've dated, not a ton, but some, but it's definitely a struggle. Um, Especially when I look at the fact that I also have this desire to be accepted by able-bodied people, and I've gotten really good, I guess, at making friends. I make friends really easily. Um, I don't say that to brag, but it's just the way it is. I'm pretty good at making friends. But when it comes to like taking that further than friendship to be a romantic relationship, it's it's difficult for me because I don't want to make that person feel uncomfortable if I'm trying to, start a relationship with them when I'm kind of, I said, brainwashed from ableism to think of myself as less than. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm probably not eloquent enough to say this, but if I'm kind of taught to think of myself as being inferior to all the able-bodied men around me, to try to start a relationship with somebody is very difficult. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, and trying to find a girl that isn't, buying into those ableist stereotypes and all that is also difficult. Um, yeah, I'm saying all this from a guy's perspective. I know women, disabled women, have it equally hard, possibly harder, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, ableism is real. That's all I can really say about it. Um, it's it's tough when most people don't even know that ableism is a term to try to fight against it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, I hope I addressed that well enough. I get very uncomfortable talking about things that I view as being really important. because I know I'm not smart enough or eloquent enough to do them justice, if that makes sense. But I would encourage people to research ableism and learn about it so that we can help to get that out of our society. Um, but yeah, um, let's see, what's up, Will? Glad you joined in, man. Um, Caitlin asked if I can make the not that late night bar say the question I'm answering. I probably can. I'm just learning this software, um, so I haven't got it all down pat yet. But I'll see if I can implement that for next week's broadcast. Um, Will says I need to come and see you, homie. Yes, you do, Will. And let me know about that T-shirt I owe you, man. I will hook it up. I'm definitely looking for some more Girl Scout cookies, possibly. Um, Bobby says, in my years working in special ed, I saw many times that people assumed someone in a wheelchair was developmentally delayed and learning or, and should be grouped with other learning disabled students. What you are saying makes sense to me. There is no inferior or superior. Everyone needs to be met where they are. I could not agree more, Bobby. Um, yeah, that that's true. Preach. Um, let's see. Will and Kevin asked what the software I'm using. It's called ManyCam. My buddy has a subscription to it that he hooked me up with. So he's been kind of helping. He doesn't live near me, so we have been connecting over Facebook video chats, and he's been kind of showing me a few things with it, and I've been tinkering with it myself to kind of learn the ins and outs, which is how I got my logo and banners and all that up here. Um, but yeah, I'll get there. I'm actually trying right now to learn how to add a second person's video into these videos so I can do like discussions with a guest, which I think I'll be much better at. I talking to a camera is weird. I much prefer to talk with somebody. I have a little audio problem on that, um, but I'm working on fixing it. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I should be able to start having some guests on my shows. Let's see. Sarah says, I think you explained things perfectly. Good job, bro. I appreciate it, Sarah. I'm sure you're just being nice. But I do my best. I I don't think I'm very eloquent, but hopefully I got the point in there somewhere amongst all my ramblings. Sarah says, you are smart enough and eloquent enough to talk about this stuff. Well, agree to disagree. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Also, I hope I do the subject matter justice. I try to. As I read other people's words about it. My sister has some blogs about ableist type topics. Um, I highly recommend you read her blog. She is much more eloquent than I am with the words. Caitlin says, this is Rob. You are stoked as me, dude. Absolutely, Robbie. Robbie is coming to Vegas with us. I'm super psyched, bro. Um, let's see. Kevin wants to be a guest. Kevin, you will absolutely be a guest once I get my software figured out. Because he's superior to everyone else. Obviously, that's the reason. That's the only reason I would have you. Um, but yeah, Christine says press the like button if you want her to be a guest. Christine, I would love to have you as a guest. I know we were talking about that recently. Um, Yeah, I think you'd be a great guest, and you'd be way better at talking about this stuff than I am. So I could use you. Um, but yeah, hopefully I'll get all this figured out so I can start having some guests on here soon. But yeah, um, that's pretty much all really had to go over for this week. We've done about an hour now, so probably gonna sign off here in a moment. But if you guys have any other questions or comments or topics you'd like me to discuss, throw it in the comments here. If I don't get to it right now, I will address it next week. And if you ever have any topics or questions you want me to go over in these videos, feel free to throw it in the comments or message me or whatever. I see everything, so hit me up and um, yeah, I'll try to get to it in one of these videos. Let's see. I think that's more or less everything. I appreciate everybody that joined in today. Um, oh, hold on. Timmy wants to know over or under 74 and a half wins for the Mariners. Yeah, bro, the Mariners are one big question mark this season. They're an entirely new team, more or less. I find it hard to believe that they would be above that. But I could be surprised. 'Cause like I said, we don't know this team at all, really. Um, but yeah, I think under is probably a very safe bet, unfortunately. Um, that being said, I am still excited for baseball season to start soon. Um, if you guys missed it last week, I revealed a new design around baseball. Um, with Edgar Martinez being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Us Seattleites were excited, so I made this design here, um, which is available in my store, snappyclothing.com. I actually just this week added it to an infant t-shirt and some tank tops I was requested. Um, and it's on hoodies and sweatshirts and t-shirts and um, for men, women, children, infants, everything you name it. It's all there at snappyclothing.com, as well as a bunch of other cool shirts and apparel items and whatnot. So check it out if you have a chance. Um, yeah. All right, guys. Let me see if there's anything else here I need to touch on. Um, by the Williams says, can I just say, as an able-bodied person, I do appreciate just listening and being able to be a part of learning more about the disabled community. I will be more proactive on my end to just be more aware overall. So again, thanks for that. Thank you, by the Williams. That is awesome. I very much appreciate you being an ally to our disabled community. Um, I hope more people will do just like you, my friend. That's awesome. Love to hear that. Um, let's see. Christine asks, can you get half a win in baseball? I don't think so. But the thing about baseball, it's such an old sport. You think everything would have been done by now, and yet somehow something new happens every year. Something that's never been done before. Leave it to the Mariners to be the first team to get half a win. I think if anybody could do it, it would be them. Timmy says that shirt is fire. He's ordering right now. I appreciate that, Timmy. I'm glad you like it, and I hope you like it when you get it. My dad actually just ordered and received one the other day, and he's turned out great, and he was happy with it. So if his opinion means anything, thumbs up. So I hope you guys like it. Yeah. Let's see. Ryan said, "Take care, Chris. I'll be thinking about you tomorrow." I appreciate that, Ryan and Maria. You're there with him. Yeah, tomorrow is Spinraza injection day. So this is the beginning of my video, but I will be stabbed in the spine in the morning. Shoot me up full of Hulk juice and yeah, fight off that SMA. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. I'm gonna sign out. Love you all. Thanks for joining. I will see you next week, Tuesday at 7. I will be here. Hope you join me again. Good night, guys. Later.